Good morning, dear viewer. Let's have a short look at the markets. Let's see what Bitcoin in total is doing. So it's going to be a short video. And let's start with BTC. So going up to the higher time frame, let's get rid of this. Not much has changed regarding the weekly time frame. So we are still bound by the length of this correction. If we take the pivot low to the pivot high and then extend it to the bottom here, then we bounced from this from the length of this correction here. Yeah, exactly the same spot. And at the moment, and what I should say, is if we were to break a new low here, then this is the place that we should get a rejection from. Yeah. So if you look at the weekly time frame, the momentum is to the downside. I want to make it clear. If you go down to the daily levels and just leave this on, let's just put on, for example, what else do we need? This one here. If we look at the, and maybe put 786 on as well. Perfect. If we take this view, and I have to stress that this is different from the futures picture. So futures picture already broke this low. Futures market already broke this low. So we have to keep this in mind, and I really don't know which one to trust, but I'm normally looking at the BTC USD pair. And it's not even USDT, it's really USD. So what we are building now and could happen is an impulse down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah? So probably 5 would break this low here. If it does this, if we get a break of this low, then we've broken the bullish structure as well. So that's one thing. So we have to be careful. That's one of the warning signals. So we had higher lows, higher highs so far, and now we're going to get and if we break this low on the BTC USD pair, we're going to get a lower low. So somewhere around about here. If we do this, then there's still one major liquidity pool to be triggered, and I marked it with this green, with this what is it? With this blue color here, and it's somewhere around about here. Yeah. So that's the liquidity pool that could still give us some more upside. And what I'm looking for in a bullish scenario is we just break the low here, and then bounce up to this level, to this this blue level here, and then back to this liquidity pool. Here we do some kind of sideways accumulation, and then we bounce up, and then we go for a new high. Yeah, that would be one of the bullish scenarios. A second bullish scenario would be that we just break it and then bounce up in some sort of a flat correction. But looking at the weekly time frame, we should really expect that if this low gets broken, then we bounce up and then we get a big leg down to these lows, probably accumulate first long positions here, maybe break it again and then go up. So, weekly momentum favors downside. Daily is still undecided. It's like on the verge of breaking the bullish structure, so we have to be careful here. So, my heart says up, yeah. But the reality is that the weekly time frame says down. So we have to really be careful here. If we go down to the lower levels, what I'm looking for here is we had this, I started the short round about what was it, 27,550 because of repeat of this correction here. Pull it on here, and this was round about here was my entry. Yeah, so I caught this little wick here, and what I'm trying to do is probably let it run till at least this low is hit. Yeah. So I don't know if we're going to break it or we're just going to stop just right here, just before before we break the low. I don't know. If we go sideways here, yeah. By the way, if we just go sideways, then it's all good. If the bullish structure is not broken, then we can still do a major pump to the upside. But at the moment, it does not look like we're going to hold this low. And what I'm looking in the short term, in here. So we had, and let's start with the count of waves in here, right? So too many drawings on here. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we should get a 5. Huh? Or at least I'm expecting, it's not that we should get it, I'm expecting that we would get a 5. If we get this fifth move down, then there is a high probability that we will get a 3-wave bounce up and then another impulse down. There's only, I think, one exception to this rule. It's a correction type which is called a flat correction, and which consists of 3 waves down, then 3 waves up, and then 5 waves down. Well, that's but it's rarely seen. I mean, to be fair, yeah. And I know we are going sideways, but if the condition is met, if we break this low and then pump to the upside, then every single short is going to be sitting here, yeah, in this area. So I would be very careful to open longs, especially if we break this high, yeah, because people will be really bullish and then say like, oh, we've broken this high. We're going for a new all-time for break of this high here of 32,000. Not so fast, yeah. So going back to the lower time frames, this was our 1, this was our 2, this was our 3 is my expectation, this was our 4 until, or it will be confirmed with the break of these lows, yeah. This would be our 5. If we don't get this 5, then I assume this was just an 1, 2, 3 correction. If we don't get this low here. But my assumption for the short is that we are going to we are going to get this new low, and what I'm expecting in the short term is we're going to chop sideways here mostly, and then drop. So did I copy this? I think it's next week Wednesday. Yeah, if you look at this, we have the U.S. core CPI data, U.S. CPI month over month, year over year. There's quite a few. It's Wednesday on September the 13th, so it's 8 days still. Yeah. So my expectation would be that we would get quite a long consolidation here, maybe a week, and then there will be a decision whether we move down or up. Yeah. So 13th, where is it? We can mark it onto this map here. Wednesday the 13th is here, round about here. So I would be expecting that we get just sideways chop until we break this low and maybe even take out the liquidations, which are apparently sitting, if you trust high block capital, then they are sitting in this area here. So that's BTC Total. Let's take total. Let's go on the weekly. It's better for total. For total, we are still in a sideways move. Yeah, until we start breaking new lows and breaking this 1-to-1 correction range. So where's my brush? Let's pivot here, pivot here, pivot here. And this would be, if we take the length of this correction here, then and extend it from this top here, then this one level marked with 1, that's how far we should go. If we break below, test it as resistance, and then move down, it's a very bad sign, simply. But from here, what total for me looks more bullish than BTC itself. So for me, if I count the ways, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are in a sideways range, which means this is just a correction at the moment until we start showing an impulse down. So for now, it looks like an ABC correction, and that's all. And, for me, pump, sideways, what comes next? Normally a pump. Yeah. So total is more bullish than BTC itself, but we will see how will this play out. Like I said, if we start breaking new lows on BTC, if we get my preferred scenario, I will be camping with shorts in this area later on. Okay, and this is due to what I showed you before, that on the weekly time frame, this was the perfect place where we would get a drop from. Yeah. So we still haven't broken the length of this correction, and that means it favors downside. It favors breaking a new low. Okay, thanks so much for listening. Have a very good day. So long. Bye bye.